During the Corona 2020, I actually lost my sense of hearing.
Oh.
Completely. I got sick and lost my sense of hearing. And I remember my manager pushing me, we have to go and sing this song regardless. And I'm like, I can't hear properly.
Yeah.
I can't hear you. I can hear a tune, but it is distorted, it is dirty, you can't really relate with it. But I felt encouraged. I said, no, I will go. And when I was singing the song Majira, this is how I received my miracle.
That was Sababu by the one and only Pammy Ramz. And you know, I've been wondering, is she Congolese? Is she Kenyan? There's so many things I've been wondering about her. She's got such good music. She's here with us. We're so excited to have you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. God bless you.
Karibu. Sababu, I think the most outstanding, there are two lines that stand out for me. I ask myself, if I was at church, who would worship there? Would they get saved? And the second one is, if my life was a girl, would she get married?
Yeah.
You know, how did you come up with those lyrics?
Wow, these are the questions that everybody asks themselves. You know, regardless of where you are or what you're going through, at some point you begin to ask yourself what some of other people will even ask themselves, like, what if I was even an animal? I wish I was a shoe. I wish I was maybe a tree or something. Simply because maybe the kind of line the life has taken you, you feel like you're not even worthy to be a human being. But this was just a reminder to let people know, regardless of how you feel you may be, sometimes we hide ourselves with makeups. But when I remove the makeup, will people still like me the way they like me with my makeup? Yeah. So now that's the question I was throwing to everybody out there. What if you were a church? You know, will people be interested to go to that church? Will they feel the presence of God there? What if you were just a young lady, a young girl? Will you really attract the men in your community genuinely? Yeah. So, but even when you go through asking yourself those questions, at the end of the day, one thing remains that is of truth, that He knows the beginning to the end. He says, I know the plans that I have for you, to prosper you and give you hope and a future. So instead of you wasting time asking yourself a lot of questions that you may never find answers to, just know that the only thing I need to do is to align myself to the will of God, because He knows better. He's my Father. Were you in an emotional time of your life when you wrote it? Most of the time, those songs come really at those points where even myself, I'm feeling the same. Because just as I said, it is normal to ask yourself a question, whether you're a Christian, whether you're not. Sometimes you just have to reflect and ask yourself questions for you to either change or improve your lifestyle. So really I was asking myself a question. Yes, I call myself a Christian, but if now I was to be at church, will the people come to worship there? Will they find God, the presence of God there? If I was a country, will people feel secure enough to come and visit it? So those are the questions I was asking myself. But at the end of the day, I was like, no matter how I ask myself a lot of questions, God knows why. He knows why. Yes. He knows why. All right. So tell us, who is Pammy Ramz? We see you. Are you one of us? Are you a spy? No, I'm kidding. I'm joking. Oh my God. So tell us about yourself. Wow. I was saying that, you know, that question is very, very interesting. Simply because everywhere I go, the first question that they ask me is, are you a Kenyan? It's very interesting how the first thing people want to know is, where are you coming from? But sometimes when I ask myself, why do you want to know where I'm coming from? Because at the end of the day, the same blood I'm carrying is the same blood that you carry. The same God you're believing in the same God I am believing in, the same Savior. So at some point when I sit down, I say, this one does not matter. What matters is what I carry inside of me and where we are going, who is leading us. So it is true that I am originally from the DRC, that is Congo, but I've been living in Kenya for the past 21 years. So I call Kenya home, regardless of how people want to really know your background. But one thing I know for sure, that Kenya is home for me, because my children are Kenyan. I am also part of Kenya. My ministry is done here. It's blessing the people of God here. Yeah. So Kenya is my motherland. Amazing. What else do you do apart from music? Or is your ministry fully music? My ministry is fully music. But of course, just as every other human being, the fact that you can cook does not exclude you from being a mother or carrying on other assignments. So of course I also do translations of documents from French to English, from English to French. I do voiceovers for different companies. So yes, those are the things that I do.
Mostly in French?
French, English, it depends, where you get your contracts.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. And how many children do you have?
I have 2. One is 9, the girl is 9, and the boy is 7.
Wow. Wow, you're so close to raising teenagers.
Yes, very close, and I'm really praying that God will take us through it.
He will,
yes.
He will. Wow, okay, so do you mind me asking, how did you come to Kenya?
Wow, yes, I don't mind that. How I came to Kenya, my family was relocating here to work in the Congolese embassy here in Kenya. So that is how I found myself here. We came with a diplomatic body, if I should say, yeah.
Okay, and then you just settled and the rest is history.
Yes, personally, we loved Kenya, and still now my family is still working there. So there was no point of us going, and you know, some going, some remaining. And since I was settling here myself, I remained here. I loved it, yeah.
Okay. What's the story behind the song Majira?
Majira.
Yeah. How? What were you going through when you wrote it?
Majira came not only for me, but for every viewer of that song, Majira. Majira comes to just give hope to people. The first thing I want to remind people that, you know, once we get saved as children of God, salvation is good, but we were never promised that it will be easy. Himself was saying, in this world myself, I went through it. I went through challenges. So even you will go through it, but be calm because I overcame the world, meaning we will also overcome. So this came especially during this tough time of Corona. And I know it's a song that will continue even after Corona or even after years, simply because people still go through different things in life, pains, laughter, joy. It's the beauty of life. But even when you go through that, just remember that this is only a circumstance. It's only a situation that is seasonal. It will not stay there forever. The God the master of time and circumstances is still in control. He knows exactly what you're going through and is coming to your help. And this is a calling to our viewer. It is true that you may be going through that circumstances, but remember there's a master of time and circumstances who's holding your hand. He knows exactly what you're going through and he's there to give you the victory that you want. And I have a testimony myself. During the Corona 2020, I actually lost my sense of hearing. Oh. Completely. I got sick and lost my sense of hearing. And I remember my manager pushing me, we have to go and sing this song regardless. And I'm like, I can't hear properly. I can't hear you. I can hear a tune, but it is distorted, it is dirty, you can't really relate with it. But I felt encouraged. I said, no, I will go. And when I was singing the song Majira, this is how I received my miracle. And you may be there facing that challenge. Just know God is there for you. God is ready to do that one miracle for you. Only if you believe and have faith in him. And another thing, only if you align yourself to his will. Yeah.
I see you have something on.
Yes, that's an hearing aid actually, just to help me amplify the sound, since especially we are outside with all the noise and all that.
Oh my goodness. So God restored your hearing?
Yes, God restored my hearing. It was completely gone and I was like, what will I do from here, God?
Yeah. You know, there was a time I was training a group of worshippers and I realized a lot of people don't know that the biggest sense involved with music is not even the voice. It's the ear. Yeah. If you can't hear, you're done. That's
you're done. You're done completely.
Yeah. Oh my, that's such an amazing testimony. Yeah. What about the song Ndoto? I see you looking so good. I remember looking at that video and thinking to myself, these outfits, you were just dropping them. It was one after another after another.
Wow, the outfits are part of the art actually. And you know, whenever we have a new song, we look at the song, we look at the words of the song, and we see how can we fit the appearance with the song. And here we just wanted to play it a little bit because the song itself was of this young woman who is really in need of having an encounter with God. It doesn't matter on that situation where I was, but I wanted to have an encounter with God. But sometimes it's not because you're in pain or you're expecting something that you should just, you know, be untidy.
Seek God. Oh,
yes,
okay.
and then you just drop yourself there. Oh God, you begin to cry. Sometimes you need to be ready and wait for your encounter, wait for your miracle. You are ready for it. That's what I was saying, alignment. I needed to be ready, and I was like, God, I have seen you do for other people. I have seen you heal the sick. I have seen you do wondrous things. This is my time, and I want to have a personal encounter with you. In whatever I'm going through, I want to have an encounter with you. So this is how Ndoto came, and it also came to encourage people that, you know, the grace of God is sufficient. You will have your time where God will see you through in that situation.
Wow,
Yes.
I love that. So when we're seeking God, it's not all the time we need to do sackcloth and untidy. We should dress up and be ready to meet the King.
Yes, I remember the virgins. They needed to be tidy. They needed to be ready for the, you know, for the husband to come. So sometimes you need to be ready so that when your encounter is coming, when your miracle is coming, it will find you ready to receive it.
That's beautiful.
Yes.
You have a new song coming called Mwema.
Yeah.
Or, I mean, you just released it.
I released it actually.
Yeah. Tell us about it. What inspired it, and what were you going through when you wrote it?
Mwema also came in just a time of reflection. You know, sometimes we see the goodness of God when He does us good. When God blesses you, you're like, oh, God is good, praise the Lord. But when maybe you have something going on that is not pleasant, you begin to wonder, God, where are you? God, why me? Sometimes it is not even necessary to ask those questions, because regardless of the circumstances, He remains God, and He remains wonderful. He remains good. So it's up to us as Christians and believers to know that regardless of what I may be going through, God remains good. So I was in that place where I wanted to just say, God, you are good, regardless of what I may be facing. Regardless of how painful it is or beautiful it is, something I'm very sure of, you are good. And your goodness is never measured. We cannot put it in a kilo, you know, to wait on it. Something that we are sure of, you are good, and it remains that way. So I was just encouraging myself and be happy in whatever that comes my way, knowing that God is still in control and He's good.
Okay. Do you have a testimony that that I know you've shared with us, the hearing restoration testimony? Do you have another one you can share with us? Something God has done for you? I'm sure the life of a minister of the gospel is full of testimonies, but one that stands out.
You know, a human being can never lack a testimony unless if you're ungrateful.
Yeah, that's true. That too.
We cannot even lack the testimony, and sometimes we don't have to wait for God to do bigger thing for us to bring a testimony. The Bible says they overcame by the word of their testimony. When you wake up, it is a testimony. The moment you wake up from that bed, you're healthy. You can breathe without any issue. For me, I've come to a point where everything to me is a miracle.
Wow.
The fact that I can hear, it is a miracle. The fact that I can see you as you stand here, it is a miracle. The fact that I can sleep and even dream, it is a miracle, because there was a day I slept to wake up that I couldn't hear. There was a day I slept to wake up, I wasn't well at all. I had to rush to the hospital. So whenever I see myself just breathing and healthy, my children to go to school and come back, it is a miracle. And I will encourage also every follower, every listener, wherever you are, be grateful for the little things. Do not wait for God to do a bigger thing for you, to give you a car for you to be grateful and say, oh, God has done something. Start with the little that you have that God has provided for you, and be just grateful. At all times, be grateful.
Tell us about there were some 7 years where you took a break from music and you focused on your family.
Yeah.
I've had a bit of time like that, but for me it wasn't so long. It was just probably a year. But I know as a mother there's a lot of uncertainty in that period. How was it for you? I think it was between 2010 and 2017.
Yes, it wasn't easy, but I had to do that. Why? Because right after my wedding, I had 2 children that I had to really take care of. And of course, I had to move from Nairobi to Nakuru, where we were working. So life totally changed, and everything totally changed. My body changed, everything, even my voice changed. So I needed enough time to be with my children and also to work and earn as a human being, you know. Even as I came back, it was just by the grace of God, because I wasn't ready to come back. I wanted to do other things. I wanted to serve in church, to serve at the altar, but maybe doing something else.
Okay.
Because that's what I do actually in church.
Like employment?
Yes. No, like I can maybe serve through intercession. I can serve through other things, preaching, instead of me just being the worship leader or something like that. I wasn't so much into that, especially coming back to the industry. But it really took the hand of God for me to come back, because I was really refusing to come back. But God convinced me, God convinced the people that He has assigned to do the work with me. Here I am.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it wasn't as straightforward.
No, because even myself, I wasn't ready to come back. Yeah, I wasn't ready, but they were telling me, God is telling you to go. God is telling you to go back. And I was like, but then I've seen the hand of God, because, you know, whenever God gives you a task, He gives you all that is needed to carry on with that task. So I've seen the provision of God all along, even when I was scared that, you know, how is it going to be? But I've seen the hand of God just carry us through.
Oh, amazing. All right. Thank you so much for making time for us. Please tell the viewers where they can find you.
Wow, Pammy Ramz here, and I want to say thank you for sitting there. Thank you for being there, listening to us and just looking at us here. You can find me on YouTube as Pammy Ramz Official. That's where you will find all my songs. Kindly listen to the songs, subscribe to the channel, and leave us a comment. And if maybe you have a private message that you want to share with us so that we will pray together, pray with you and pray for you, you can contact us on Facebook as Pammy Ramz Music, or on IG, Instagram at Pammy Ramz, and the Lord will surely bless you.